state-of-the-art technology and experts in more than 100 specialties to 23 hospitals across Ohio and Kentucky. We were not meant to be idle. We were meant to serve, to believe, to live. We are Mercy and Mercy Health, caring together.
And this is what we were meant to do.
Good morning, everyone. It is just after 5:30 here on this Wednesday. I'm Angie Gonzalez.
I'm meteorologist Joe Thompson, back in for John James this morning.
Now, someone asked me on Twitter last night when I left the station, there was tons of blowing and drifting snow. And if you follow me on Anchor Angie 24, I tweeted out a picture on my way home on South Dixie Highway, heading from Perrysburg to Bowling Green, and there was tons of blowing and drifting snow. Now, somebody asked me, did it snow yesterday? And I didn't have the answer because we don't exactly have too many windows in our edit bay. So.
We only saw some flurries and some snow showers. No real accumulations, though. It's just a trace. So all the snow you saw on the roads, that was strictly the snow that was blowing around that had already fallen. But with gusty winds between 30, 40 miles per hour yesterday, that's what was causing that.
Tons. And it's actually still an issue this morning because while it may not be blowing around, it actually made its way back onto the roadways, and where ODOT crews have not had a chance to get yet, you might run into those...
Could be some black ice for sure.
Black ice, and I call them snow speed bumps.
Yeah. Hopefully no one runs into those this morning. There is one set of good news, is that it's not as brutally cold this morning as it has been. I know,
that's good news. And apparently we don't have any too many school delays anyway. Just yet, I'm not quite sure whether we have any, but you're not seeing the scroll at the bottom of your screen, so that's good news.
And we shouldn't have any delays because of wind chills, because all of our wind chills right now are in positive territory, just like our temperatures. Let's show you where current temperatures stand right now across our area. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still on the chilly side, but certainly a lot warmer than it has been the past few mornings, with the majority of us in the mid-teens, including 17s for Holland and Toledo. Archbold, one of our colder spots right now, at 11 degrees. If you get south and east of Toledo, still seeing some temperatures in the 20s, including Upper Sandusky, Sandusky itself, and Findlay, Ohio, checking in at 21. Now, while this is one little piece of positive news, this has certainly been a February to forget. Let's show you some statistics of how this month has progressed so far. We have not been above freezing since February the 11th, and that is a streak that is going to continue once again today, because temperatures are really not going to be warming up all that much from where they're at right now. The average temperature so far this month is 13.2 degrees. That is the second coldest February ever on record to this point. The coldest ever happened back in 1978 with an average temperature of 11.8 degrees. Don't know if we'll quite get to the top spot, but I think our second place spot is going to hold firm because it's not going to be warming up all this much. We're also pretty close to an all-time snow record. We've had 24.5 inches of snow this month. That's the third snowiest February we've ever had, and only need less than an inch to set the all-time record. However, I don't think that will happen because we're not really expecting accumulating snows during these final 4 days of February. And because I like to be an optimist, let's give you the countdown to spring. We're down to just 23 days, a little over 3 weeks, so there is some light at the end of the tunnel. In terms of our extended forecast, well, it's kind of a mixed bag. We do have a winter storm possible for the first day of March on Sunday, but as we head into next week, we could be seeing temperatures getting above freezing, maybe even in the 40s. So lots going on. We'll break it all down in my full forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Angie?
All right, thanks so much, Joe. Well, staying on the topic of weather right now, there are still several area counties under some sort of snow emergency or snow advisory, so we're going to bring them to you right now. Here's the latest list of current counties under level 1 snow emergencies. That's all we're seeing right now. Erie, Fulton, Lucas, Hancock, Henry, Seneca, Wood, and Williams counties all under a level 1 snow emergency. And under a level 1, drivers may experience blowing and drifting snow, as Joe and I mentioned, and that can make the roadways hazardous, so use caution. All right, apparently we do have some school delays. Now scrolling at the bottom of your screen, make sure to check them out, or you can go to our website, NBC24.com, for the latest list. Well, speaking of school delays, the extreme cold in recent weeks, as well as snow, has been a major factor in decisions by school officials to delay and even cancel classes. And each day, it is a mixed bag. We're seeing some opening on time, others opening 2 hours late, and some not at all. So where do local school districts stand in terms of needing to make up time missed? NBC 24 Stephanie Martinez joins us now live with more on that. Stephanie.
Angie, good morning. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm losing my love for winter weather. I know as a kid, like I'm sure many kids now, they're just like, you're looking at the TV, you're watching newscasts, you're thinking, is my school closed? Well, all of the closings and delays, those can add up. And of course, that could cause students having to stay in the classroom just a little bit longer. In fact, almost all the schools in our area are beyond the allotted days that they have for winter-related weather, meaning that many will have to make up this time on another day, maybe staying in school a little longer for periods of time. And then some schools will even have to lengthen their school days to make up for that missed time. So a good and bad there, again, enjoying those days off. However, having to make that up maybe a little later. And for some parents out there, as long as the school systems have their students' best interest at heart and their safety, they're okay with them going to school or even missing a little.
As long as the roads are clear and they're safe being transported to and from school, I feel okay with it.
Oh man, winter, we are just at the mercy of him right now as we go into the next few weeks. And I also want to mention, this not only affecting school systems and keeping parking lots emptied out for a period of time in the mornings, but also hurting, local businesses and some of the outdoor malls like Levis Commons and Fallen Timbers. I know I've made a trip there a few times and not as many people out there either. Reporting live this morning, Stephanie Martinez, NBC 24.
Stephanie, I've been at Franklin Park Mall, and they say that they're even seeing a lower amount of people coming into their stores. People just don't want to go out in the cold. Well, frigid temperatures are not only hitting the schools hard, but again, many local businesses, as Stephanie said. And while we obviously aren't seeing the snow totals from last winter, right now, some Northwest Ohio communities are still coming up short in the salt department. On Tuesday, the Ohio Department of Transportation announced plans to borrow 20,000 tons of salt from the city of Toledo to distribute among its 8 counties in District 2. Right now, Toledo holds more than 44,000 tons of salt from its stockpile of more than 78,000 tons at the beginning of the season. So far this year, ODOT has spread more than 673,000 tons of road salt. Now to some new video this morning. 15 people are now recovering after a house exploded. And you can see it on camera. Unbelievable video there. This happened in Ocean County, New Jersey. The explosion, again, captured on camera thanks to a police cruiser's dash cam. According to officials, firefighters and workers from the gas company were already on the scene after residents were complaining of a gas odor. But during their investigation, the house exploded. 6 firefighters, 2 emergency workers, and 7 gas company workers were hurt. Authorities say the explosion leveled at least one home. We can see in the video there. Several more were damaged, however. This is why they say if you smell gas, get out of the area. And now to a developing story happening across the state of Ohio. Here is a new report out by the state's fire marshal's office shows that there has been an increase in the number of children killed in fires when compared to the numbers and how they were set out over last year. Now, according to the report, in all of 2014, 15 children were killed in fires in the state of Ohio. And so far this year, this is only February, folks, 11 children in the state of Ohio have already died in fires. The members with the State Bureau of Fire Prevention say that several factors have come into play that could cause those deaths or could have contributed to those deaths. One being age. The child may be too young to escape on their own in those cases. And another is that instead of getting out, the child is sometimes searching for their parents. Overall, 39 people have died in fires this year here in the state of Ohio. New this morning, Ohio's jumping gas prices over the past month is the second highest in the country. So if you're starting to feel bad for yourself, AAA is giving you a reason to do that. Well, here in the Buckeye State, gas prices have risen steadily for 28 consecutive days, with the rate for a gallon of fuel driving up 41 cents in the past month, but that does add up. Currently, the national average for a gallon of regular gasoline is $2.30. California, though, the most expensive state still to buy your gas, they're paying $2.97 at the pump for a gallon of unleaded. Well, hundreds of union workers picketed in Findlay in the last 24 hours, and they did so outside the Marathon Petroleum headquarters. The rally was held as thousands of workers across the country continue their strike. And NBC 24's Tim McNicholas was there. He has the very latest.
Union workers marched through Findlay with a message Tuesday. Members of the United Steelworkers Union picketed outside Marathon Petroleum's corporate headquarters. The rally was held as workers strike at oil refineries across the country, including 2 Marathon facilities. The Shell Oil Company is negotiating a contract with the union, which will dictate industry standards for Marathon and other companies. David McCall is a director for the United Steelworkers in Ohio. He says the union's top concern is ensuring a safer workplace.
It's about being proactive about it. It's about using our local safety committees and our safety resources to protect the workers in the refineries.
Officials from Marathon, on the other hand, say safety is not the primary area of disagreement. They say the union is asking companies to replace contract workers with union members. A statement sent from Marathon to NBC 24 reads in part, "Contracting supplemental workers is a means to expand and contract our workforce to meet the cyclical nature of our business in the petroleum industry." The statement says Marathon is disappointed that the union told workers to strike. McCall says he hopes Marathon will relay the union's message to Shell.
That was our Tim McNicholas reporting. 15 refineries are now involved in that strike. Well, some news that if you're flying, you're going to need to know right now. This is happening across the nation. Southwest Airlines has now grounded 128 of its jets for safety inspections. Now, earlier this week, the airline said that it discovered an overdue required maintenance check for the standby hydraulic system that needs to be inspected, and it identified 182 aircraft that had overflown that check. The airline said that the grounding resulted in about 80 flight cancellations just yesterday. Managers anticipate, however, a very minimal impact on their operations today. Happening now in our nation's capital, food stamps will be on the agenda this morning in the House of Representatives. Today, the House Committee on Agriculture will begin a 2-day hearing on the, quote, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP. Well, the committee has described day 1 as a total review of the program. Day 2 is expected to discuss the broader focus of the program. The time is now 5:42 here on this Wednesday morning. Still to come here on NBC 24 today. The recent bitter temperatures have been bad for business around Northwest Ohio. Even the places where you can actually go indoors to shop. We're going to tell you who's being hit the hardest coming up next.
And temperatures are a little better out there this morning, but the bitter cold will be back later this week. We are talking temperatures below 0. I'll have the chilly details in my forecast coming up after the break.
The Arm & Hammer secret is out.
For true radiance, you need strength and beauty. So for a radiant smile, I use Truly Radiant toothpaste. In just 5 days, it cleans, whitens, repairs, and strengthens enamel. Why not be truly radiant?
Switch to Arm & Hammer.
I've just found my new beauty BFF.
Hi there.
New Colgate Optic White Express White.